All right. Let me pull this up. Y'all know me. And if you don't know, I'm a very big fan of what I like to call strength of schedule. When I see a team that's on a, crazy winning streak, or if I see a team that's on a crazy losing streak, I always like to just at least take it a step deeper and look and see who they played. Or if a team has some injuries and they look like they might struggle going forward, or have a bunch of away games going forward, I like to just take a look at the schedule and break it down that way, and just kind of get a feel to just add some context to either a winning streak or a losing streak, or give a prediction to what I think a team's future would be. I did the same thing for the Miami Heat back in November when the news came out that Bam was going to be out, that they were without Jimmy, and then they just kept getting hit with protocol and little minor injuries here and there, and they basically had a whole bunch of different people in and out of their lineup during the month of December. And I predicted and thought, because of their schedule, they were going to win at least half of their games in the month of December, and they blew that out the water. So I'm a big fan of strength of schedule. Now, this is from CBS Sports, right? Let me pull this up for y'all. This is from CBS Sports, and it is their rankings for the current strength of schedule going into the rest of the season. So each team, as you can see, let me make sure this is big enough for y'all. Each team has between, y'all know I don't ever remember how. There we go. Y'all know I don't ever remember how to make my screen bigger. So each team has between 20 and 25 games remaining. And I'm just going to go straight down to the list. Up here, they talk about what they did, how they came up with their considering strength of schedule, and how a lot of factors go into it. They talked about here, different sites calculate the strength, weakness to each schedule differently. I'm using positive residual. So this is where he says this is what he used, which is the most comprehensive, as the factors are more than just the average current win percentage of remaining opponents. Other factors include home road splits, rest advantages, meaning how many days of rest you have between your games, and when applicable, altitude, which is actually really interesting. The only team I think that really applies to is the Denver Nuggets, because they are at a higher altitude. But all that being said, I thought this was very interesting. And Braden Wright, this answers your question right here. That's why I didn't read it off ahead of time. Braden Wright's question was, what do you think the Lakers can do to win more games to get out of the play-in? Braden, according to CBS, CBS Sports, this is just their strength of schedule list based off of the games teams have left. The Lakers have the toughest schedule to end the season. Braden, I hate to break it to you, I don't see the Lakers not being in the play-in. The Lakers are going to be a play-in team. I'm saying it now. The Lakers are going to be a play-in team. The Lakers have the hardest strength of schedule. Anthony Davis is still out. I don't remember. Let's look this up in real time. Anthony Davis injury. I don't remember what his injury update is looking like. This is CBS Sports. Lakers chances of making the playoffs is huge. Anthony Davis injury update. Oh, okay, so it's just a sprained ankle. I'm trying to see if they have all right, 2 weeks. So that's not bad. And that happened before All-Star. So really, we're probably actually only looking at about a week and a half now. So, I mean, you get Anthony Davis back in about a week and a half, maybe a week, depending. And in retrospect, to be honest, I was really liking what I was seeing from Anthony Davis. I felt he came back from his, ironic to say, his last injury looking very, very good. I thought he looked good before he went down. He looked good against my Sixers. He had a 30-point game against somebody else. Like he looked good. He was dominating the paint. Wasn't shooting as many jump shots, and he was just being him and working in the paint. Right now, the Lakers having the toughest schedule is going to hurt them a lot. Cam says, I don't want to be that dude, but LeBron is carrying. LeBron is carrying, and he will carry this team. There's nothing wrong with saying that. You know, I'm not one of those people that's going to hate on LeBron. I'm not one of those people who have him as their GOAT either. but I'm also not one of those people that's, going to just hate on a player for the sake of clout and just to hate. So I'll be honest, LeBron is going to do everything in his power to try to, at least in my opinion, to try to get them out of the play-in. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't think the Lakers really want to see the Suns again in the first round. I don't. And we've been on for a while, live for a while now, so I'm gonna quickly go through my playoff bracket predictions as the season stand right now. And I mean, to be honest with you, if I'm not mistaken, the Lakers aren't even the 8th seed. Yeah, the Lakers are the 9th seed. The Clippers are the 8th seed. So it's not impossible, but it's also not going to be easy, because it's not impossible, but it's not also going to be easy, because the Clippers, although they don't have Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, at this point, it's not out of the realm of possibility that those guys come back. If you ask me for real, Hawk, do I think Paul George and Kawhi Leonard will come back this season? No. Like, for real, you want my real answer? No. Is it impossible? Also no, but I would be absolutely shocked. The Timberwolves, I'm liking what I'm seeing from them as well. They won 7 out of the last 10. The Clippers are splitting their games 5-5. The Clippers have just kind of hovered around a 500 team most of the season, especially in the latter half of the season, the last couple of months. I don't know, because that means they'd have to get all the way to the 6th seed. The Lakers are probably going to be a play-in team. I hate to say it. That's facts. AD was solid when he came back, stuck to what he was good at, and was dominating guys. Exactly, Morgan. That's exactly what he was doing. But looking at the strength of schedule, Lakers have a tough schedule still. The Bulls have a tough schedule still. The Bucks have a tough schedule. Warriors. But then we got these middle of the pack guys. But something I thought was really interesting. The Nuggets have the easiest schedule, guys. According to this, the Nuggets have the easiest schedule moving forward. Now, what that means is, and this is, mind you, keep in mind, this is coming from a Sixers fan. This is coming from a Joel Embiid fan. This is definitely, if they can continue to win some games, if they can continue to win games at a higher clip, since it's looking like they have the easiest schedule in the league moving forward. If the Nuggets slide up, I just said it, but currently right now they're 33-25. They're 6th in the West. We look up now, they're only 2.5 games back behind the Mavericks and 3 games back behind the Jazz, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So if somehow the Nuggets move up in some standings, start looking around that 4 seed, I can see a more legitimate conversation for Jokic getting in the MVP conversation. Now, he's always been in the conversation. Please don't get that misunderstood. Jokic has always been a leader in the MVP conversation, but I was one of the guys who personally said, I don't know if the league would give it to him because the Nuggets weren't winning enough games. But a 4 seed, they can give it to a 4 seed. They've given it to 4 seeds in the past. I think it would legitimize his opportunity to get into the MVP conversation. And Morgan, you took the words right out of my mouth. Morgan says the Nuggets are getting Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. back soon. I don't think anyone wants to see them in the playoffs fully healthy. Yes, reports are coming out that we might see them back sooner than at least I expected. I know technically Jamal Murray was looking to come back. I want to say the timeline was looking March-ish, April-ish, based on his injury when he had his surgery and when he went down with injuries last year. So it's not impossible to see these guys back before the season is over. To see them back maybe the last 2-3 weeks of the regular season to give them some time to get acclimated and really make some noise in the playoffs. If Jamal Murray comes back looking like Jamal Murray, no one wants to see them in the first round of the playoffs, especially if somehow they still end up matched up with Dallas Mavericks. So I just wanted to share that with you guys real quick, because I came across this I wanted to look up the strength of schedule for the rest of the season, because with only 25 games left, it's going to be really tight for some of these teams. I like that the Cavaliers have an easy schedule, because I think if there's any team, as the Eastern Conference teams have starting to get better, we're hearing chatter about the Boston Celtics are starting to get a lot better. I don't know if you guys are aware, but the Boston Celtics, I mean, when you look at the standings, they're still not amazing, but they're 6th in the Eastern Conference. A couple weeks ago, the Boston Celtics were looking like a lottery team. A month or two ago, back in December, the Boston Celtics were looking really, really bad. Everybody was saying, trade Jaylen Brown, trade Jason Tatum, break up the duo. And I was one of the few people saying, there's no reason to break these guys up. They just got to figure it out. Well, it looks like they're figuring it out. Because right now, the Celtics have the number 1 defense in the league. And they have a top 10 offense in the league. They have the number 1 net rating in the league. And if it's not number 1, it's at least top 3. It might have changed since the last time I looked at it, like a week before All-Star break happened. But they won 9 out of the last 10. And they've been looking really, really good. Hey, they beat my Sixers right before All-Star break. So, and it was an embarrassing win. Well, embarrassing loss for us, amazing win for them. But for the Cavaliers, I like that they have, this is what I was saying. I like that they have an easy schedule, because I would hate that after all this amazing season that Cavaliers have had, 2 All-Stars, they've been a top 4 team, top 6 team, top 5 team for most of the season. They're still the 4 seed, and they've been in that 4 spot for a long time. I would hate, as teams start to get better, as the Celtics start to win more games, as the Raptors start to win more games, as the Nets potentially start to win more games, I would hate to see the Cavaliers be a team that slides a lot. So I like the fact that they have an easier schedule, because even teams like the Hawks, they're not looking, I still have hopes that the Hawks are going to make some moves and potentially move up in the standings. The Cavaliers are just a feel-good story for me, and I'd hate to see them just be that. I want to see them make the playoffs and not have to be in the play-in. They've been playing at a very, very good level all season, and I just like that they have an easy schedule moving forward, so they can hopefully keep that. All right, let me see what we got here. What y'all talking about? Off topic, but Doritos or Lay's? We gotta know. Triple OG, man.